The Lost Flight of L'Oiseau Blanc, Aviation's Greatest Mystery. In the annals of aviation, few stories capture the spirit of adventure and tragedy quite like the tale of L'Oiseau Blanc, or The White Bird and its courageous crew, Charles Nungesser and François Coli. Imagine the 1920s, a time when the skies were mostly uncharted, and aviators were modern-day explorers, daring to fly where no one had gone before. This is the story of two men who sought to make history with a feat so audacious that it captured the world's imagination, and though they vanished without a trace, the echoes of their journey still linger. In 1933, a chilling discovery reignited the mystery, leaving an agonizing hint of what might have been the final chapter in their incredible journey, the flight of L'Oiseau Blanc. It was May 8, 1927, and the early morning air at Le Bourget airfield in Paris was thick with anticipation. A crowd had gathered, bundled against the chill, their eyes fixed on the white biplane standing at the ready. This was no ordinary aircraft. It was L'Oiseau Blanc, painted a stark, ghostly white, with the image of a winged bird emblazoned on its side. Every unnecessary part had been stripped away, the plane reduced to the bare essentials, purpose-built to conquer the Atlantic. As dawn's first light crept over Paris, two of France's most celebrated aviators, Charles Nungesser and François Coli, prepared for an extraordinary journey. They weren't just attempting a flight across the Atlantic. They were aiming to be the first to cross it from east to west, a feat no one had dared to attempt before. Unlike others who would later fly west to east with the prevailing winds, Nungesser and Coli faced grueling headwinds, unpredictable weather, and the unknown expanse of the ocean. Nungesser was a charismatic World War I flying ace, famous for his daredevil spirit and almost reckless bravery. He wore a trademark leather jacket decorated with skulls and crossbones, a nod to the dangers he had laughed in the face of many times before. Coli, his navigator, was a quieter man but equally passionate about aviation. A seasoned pilot and seaman, he brought a steady hand and a sharp mind to balance Nungesser's flair. Together they formed an unlikely but formidable team, united by a shared dream. As they climbed into the cockpit, the crowd watched in silence, aware of the risks. The aviators had said goodbye to friends and family, knowing full well that this journey could end in tragedy, but their resolve was unshakable. With a final wave to the crowd, L'Oiseau Blanc roared to life, and they sped down the runway, lifting gracefully into the sky. They were bound for New York, with nothing between them and the distant shores but the cold, relentless Atlantic. The journey and disappearance. Their route would take them over the English Channel, across the vastness of the North Atlantic, and finally to New York, where they dreamed of a hero's welcome. The first few hours went smoothly, but as the tiny plane vanished into the horizon, the crowd's cheers gave way to an uneasy silence. Everyone knew the dangers they faced. Flying blind over treacherous waters, they would have to battle fatigue, bitter cold, and the relentless drone of the engine echoing in their heads. 40 hours. That was the time they'd calculated it would take to reach New York. News quickly spread around the world, and people from all corners waited with bated breath, eagerly anticipating their arrival. But the hours passed, and no sign of L'Oiseau Blanc appeared. Then days went by, and hopeful anticipation began to turn into dread. Reports trickled in of potential sightings along their route. A fisherman off the coast of Ireland claimed he had seen a white plane flying low, skimming the waves. A resident in Newfoundland reported hearing the faint hum of an engine on a foggy morning, cutting through the silence of the mist. But each sighting was a fleeting, unconfirmed whisper of hope. The white bird had vanished. As weeks passed, it became heartbreakingly clear that Nungesser and Coli were gone. France mourned its lost heroes. Families grieved, and a nation honored the brave aviators with solemn ceremonies. Yet the mystery lingered. What had happened to L'Oiseau Blanc? Could they have made it to the edge of North America, only to be lost in the dense forests, or to crash in the icy waters off Newfoundland? A grim discovery. 6 years later, in 1933, a sensational report reignited the mystery. A French newspaper, Petit Marseille, ran a story that sent ripples through the aviation community. Skeletal remains of 2 aviators had been found near the wreckage of a charred plane in the wilderness of Newfoundland. A resident of Saint Pierre and Miquelon claimed to have stumbled upon the wreckage while on a remote hillside overlooking the forested expanse of Newfoundland. The description was hauntingly specific. 2 skeletal figures lying beside a blackened fuselage surrounded by the silence of the forest. A final, tragic tableau. The discovery hinted at a fateful landing, perhaps an attempt to survive in the wild or a desperate struggle against the elements. It was a scene frozen in time, a silent witness to an unimaginable journey. Excitement and speculation erupted. Could this be the final resting place of Nungesser and Coli? Yet, just as quickly as the discovery ignited hope, skepticism crept in. No officials were able to confirm the site, and despite the tantalizing details, there was a frustrating lack of concrete evidence. As the story spread, questions arose. Could it really be L'Oiseau Blanc, or was this another tragic relic of an unknown flight? The legend lives on. Today, the fate of Nungesser and Coli remains one of aviation's most enduring mysteries. The 1933 discovery, while compelling, left too many questions unanswered. No solid evidence has ever emerged to conclusively tie the Newfoundland wreckage to L'Oiseau Blanc, and over time the story faded back into obscurity. But for those who remember, the mystery adds a haunting depth to an already poignant tale. What if they had indeed made it to North America, only to meet their end in the unforgiving wilderness? L'Oiseau Blanc and its crew continue to inspire dreamers, adventurers, and historians alike. They were men who reached for greatness, undeterred by the dangers of the unknown. Somewhere, perhaps in the vast forests of Newfoundland, their aircraft rests quietly, a silent witness to an age of courage and heroism. Until the day L'Oiseau Blanc is finally found, we are left to imagine the bravery and resolve of 2 men who chased a vision of triumph that, even in mystery, has endured. And that, my friends, is the haunting mystery of L'Oiseau Blanc, a story of daring, ambition, and the unknown. If you found this story as captivating as I did, please hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Do you believe Nungesser and Coli made it to North America? What other aviation mysteries would you like to explore? Join me next time as we continue to uncover the legends of the skies. Thanks for watching, and keep your eyes on the horizon.